To me, Shedeur Sanders is the starter on this team. Dylan Gabriel's the backup, which I think is what he's going to be for his career and can be a good one. And I'm finding a way. I'm calling Denver. I'm checking, how did you do this with the Russell Wilson contract? How did you structure it all? I'd get Deshaun Watson out of town. I think Todd Monken's a heck of a coach. And the Browns put in their time. I really thought they were going to go with Jim Schwartz. But Monken makes sense because of what they have to do with the quarterback.
This offseason is definitely going to be anything but quiet for us. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation as a pivotal choice approaches that could redefine the very essence of this defense in the future. As everyone speculates about what's coming next, we're here to break it all down for you. Let's break down what's real, what's probable, and what it all signifies for the Browns. Before we dive in, hit that like button and let me know, who do you want to see rocking the Browns uniform this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Cleveland Browns find themselves at a pivotal point this offseason. The most captivating storyline at the moment isn't centered around a major trade or an unexpected retirement. The situation with Jim Schwartz in the defensive coordinator role is definitely up in the air. Absolutely. The mastermind behind one of the NFL's elite defenses last season, the guy who played a crucial role in Myles Garrett's record-breaking performance, might be heading for the exit. The Browns are already exploring other options, even though the situation continues to be frustratingly unclear. Let's dive right in. Schwartz could stick around, or he could leave. That's the situation we're dealing with. Mary Kay Cabot reports that there's still a solid chance Schwartz makes his way back to Cleveland for the 2026 season. The defensive staff is set to stay the same, and the Browns are clearly banking on the power of continuity to bring success. Then Todd Monken took the mic. When Monken talks, you pay attention. His comments weren't aggressive, but they definitely conveyed a clear message. He skipped Cleveland due to Schwartz. He arrived to lead this team, not to take over someone else's playbook. He said, "I wasn't aiming to chip Jim Schwartz. My focus was on chipping Myles Garrett." That's quite revealing. Monken can acknowledge Schwartz, absolutely, but let's not confuse acknowledgement with reliance.
As their next head coach. That's the latest from our NFL insider Jonathan Jones and Matt Zenitz. Monken has served as the Ravens offensive coordinator for the past 3 seasons. He's also had stints as OC with the Browns and the Bucks. It'll be his first head coaching opportunity at any level. Monken will take over a Browns team that has won just 1 playoff game this century. Our Jonathan Jones also reporting that Monken is expected to enter Week 1 with Shedeur Sanders as his starting QB.
The only thing standing in the way of progress here is time. The Browns are officially on the clock. The combine is right around the corner. The team needs to be set in stone. They can't just sit around waiting for Schwartz to make a call. Honestly, they really shouldn't. If Schwartz walks, that's a setback. No escaping it. His system was effective. His players excelled. However, retaining him is only effective if he's completely committed. The big question now is whether there will be any awkwardness if he comes back, after reportedly feeling frustrated about losing the head coaching position to Monken. Could there be some friction? Is Schwartz going all in? Or are we going to see a watered-down version of what he delivered last year? The Browns really need to consider that risk. If Schwartz departs, the Browns have a concise list ready. Zach Orr, the Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator, is a name that keeps coming up. Let me hit the brakes on this train before it gains momentum. This would definitely be a misstep. Absolutely. Monken has selectively gathered talent from Baltimore. Absolutely. There's a pipeline in place. Zach Orr's resume last season wasn't just lackluster, it was downright disappointing. Baltimore's defense really struggled during his time at the helm. In 2023, under Mike Macdonald, they dominated the league, finishing first overall. On the 18th of 2025, they surrendered one big play after another. Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Malik Willis, Aaron Rodgers. Quarterbacks were delivering some of their top performances against this unit. We're looking at 122 passing plays that went for over 20 yards. That's more than just a dip. What a total meltdown. Monken might have faith in some of his Ravens players, but he definitely shouldn't be in the running for Cleveland's DC position. There's a wildcard candidate that could really stir things up in the AFC North, Sean McDermott. Absolutely, that's Sean McDermott.
our defense the way it is, which is one of the tops in the league, and we can have a head coach who, again, can keep the stability that you've had in some respects in the locker room, but elevate this offense to get the most out of the tools that they have and the players that they have. That's what's been missing. I do think that there was more meat on the bone offensively.
The ex-Bills head coach boasts a 65% career win rate and has led teams to several deep playoff appearances. And now, he's on the market. So far, there haven't been many teams reaching out to McDermott, and all the head coaching positions have been filled. If he's looking to remain in football and step into a defensive coordinator position, why not consider Cleveland? With his experience, pedigree, and firepower, he's set to maintain this defense as one of the NFL's top-tier units. Would he go for it? It's not very clear. If he's looking to make a comeback and revitalize his career, the Browns might just be the ideal destination. However, this seems to be the most reasonable and probably the most probable choice. Advancing talent from within the organization. The Browns have a couple of internal options that would fit perfectly if Schwartz departs, and it wouldn't necessitate dismantling the existing structure. First on the list is Ephraim Banda, the coach for the safeties. He came on board in 2023, and since then, the Browns' pass defense has ranked among the elite, allowing just 164.7 yards per game in 2023 and 167.2 in 2024. That's top-tier consistency. Bond has already attracted attention from other teams. The Jets brought him in for an interview regarding their defensive coordinator position. The Cowboys did too. That's definitely not just a coincidence. The league is definitely keeping an eye on his actions. Banda would enable the Browns to preserve their existing scheme largely unchanged, ensuring continuity for a team that's already performing well. Another internal candidate is Jason Tarver. If Band is the up-and-coming talent, Tarver is the experienced pro. He brings previous defensive coordinator experience from his time with the Raiders and has been with the Browns since 2020, where he has taken on the role of linebackers coach. This role is far from being just a placeholder. Tarver has played a key role in shaping a core group that's been crucial to the Browns' defensive strength. Jeremiah Osu-Koromoa was showcasing his skills at a Pro Bowl before he faced an injury setback. Carson Swissinger, the rookie phenom, is shaping up to be a future star in the league. Devin Bush pulled off a career comeback that totally caught everyone off guard. That kind of success is a result of solid coaching. Tarver commands respect in the locker room, brings valuable experience, and knows the system inside and out. If Schwartz departs, Tarver could step in as the steady veteran leader this team requires. The timing of everything here is crucial. The combine is just around the corner. The start of free agency is just around the corner. It's time to make some choices. The team is at a crossroads, grappling with the crucial choice of keeping the coach who guided them to a top 5 defensive ranking or embarking on a new journey under Monken's leadership. Make no mistake, even if Monken claims he won't alter the system, he's definitely going to influence the staff. His press conference laid it all out in plain sight. He mentioned, "I expect that we won't be altering the system. Extremely challenging to oppose. Not looking to switch up the system. We're designed to thrive in the system they're currently operating within." That leans towards Banda or Tarver. It leans towards maintaining the current setup, but ultimately, it all depends on Jim Schwartz's decision. All right, it's your turn now. Should the Browns stick with Jim Schwartz, or is it time to elevate someone like Banda or Tarver? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Will Schwartz make his return to Cleveland in 2026? If Schwartz chooses to step back and Cleveland opts not to promote from within, there are still several other names being discussed. Time to analyze them closely. Kicking things off with someone you know well, Steve Wilks. Hey, you remember Wilks, don't you? He served as the Browns' defensive coordinator in 2019, a year that fans would likely prefer to forget due to the Freddie Kitchens era. It wasn't the best year for Wilks, but he's definitely kept busy since then, taking on roles like the 49ers defensive coordinator and even stepping in as the interim head coach for Carolina. Wilks and Monken have a notable history together. They were part of the same Browns coaching staff that year, but here's the deal. Monken has been pretty open about labeling that year as a complete disaster. Rekindling that working relationship feels like a stretch, especially if all other avenues are still on the table. That's quite a reach. Joe Woods, the previous defensive coordinator for the Browns before Schwartz, had his moments with the defense. However, the overall consistency was lacking. He's still on the hunt for a job. If the Browns are in a hurry to fill that position and recognize he can seamlessly integrate into their system, he could definitely receive a call. However, this could definitely come across as a regression, particularly following the significant progress the team achieved in 2025. And then we have the complete wild card, Kirby Smart. Absolutely, that's the Kirby Smart we're talking about. Monken, who worked with him at Georgia, has nothing but praise for the guy. Kirby, in contrast, has already established his legacy at the college level. He's got the championships, the recruiting powerhouse, and complete dominance in Athens. It's hard to believe he'd walk away from that for a defensive coordinator position in the NFL. However, if he ever decides to dip his toes into the NFL scene, Monken could be the one person to draw him in. Let's be real here. This is nothing but a fantasy. It's entertaining, no doubt, but it doesn't really reflect what's happening right now. So, if you're seeking some clear answers here, just know that you won't find them until Schwartz takes action. It's tough, but that's the reality we're dealing with. This choice impacts more than just a single position on the staff. The impact is felt all across the offseason. Consider this. Free agents could be holding off on their decisions to see who's running the show before making a commitment. The players currently on the roster are definitely keeping a close eye on things. Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward built solid connections with Schwartz. If he departs, the emotional fallout could be substantial. If Monken aims to maintain a unified locker room, he must either retain Schwartz or bring in a figure who instantly earns respect. Banda and Tarver are crucial names to consider in this context. They may not be the most eye-catching choices, but they definitely have the respect of their peers. They're reliable figures, and they wouldn't shake things up. Both options would enable Monken to maintain his aggressive attacking system. That's crucial, because Monken has been straightforward about it. He aims for that defense to remain as disruptive as it was in 2025. He stated it plainly. We're still going to allow them to come at us. We're still going to allow them to play without restrictions. That doesn't seem like a coach aiming to break new ground. That's a coach who understands what gets results and is determined to safeguard it. Trust is another important factor to consider. Monken has a sharp offensive mindset. He's zeroing in on addressing the Browns' inconsistencies on that side of the field. He requires a defensive coordinator he can rely on, someone capable of managing the defense with little supervision. That's what gives Schwartz his edge. But if he's out of the picture, that trust needs to shift to someone else. Monken probably won't take a chance on someone from outside unless he's completely confident it's the perfect match. That's why the chances of internal promotions are looking increasingly promising.
We can't overlook the upcoming free agency choices that are hanging over the defense. For the Browns to maintain this unit, it's essential to have clear communication regarding the coaching staff. Players are eager to understand who they represent on the field. Consistency is key. This defense was top-notch in 2025. They ranked in the top 3 for passing yards allowed per game for 2 consecutive years. Don't touch that unless it's absolutely necessary. At this point, the only reason to get involved would be if Schwartz chooses to leave. All right, let's break it down. Anticipating a verdict from a coach known for their intensity and passion, who might still be feeling the sting of not landing the top position. If Schwartz returns, the Browns are primed for another powerhouse season on defense. If he departs, the most strategic and sensible decision would be to elevate Banda or Tarver, ensuring operations remain as aligned with 2025 as possible. Any other move could jeopardize the momentum during this crucial championship window. It's time for you to step up once more. Who do you think will take over as the Browns' defensive coordinator in 2026 if Schwartz decides to leave? Is it Banda Tarver? Or could it be someone else altogether? Leave that name in the comments below. For real-time updates like this, make sure to smash that subscribe button, give a thumbs up, and tap the video on the screen for more in-depth Browns analysis.